Okay, we want to get rid of the x cubed, so we better put x squared here. So that when we multiply by x minus 2, we get x cubed, and then of course we get a minus 2x squared. I don't know what I was thinking there. I wanted to write it and I thought there's something wrong with it, but there wasn't. Okay. So anyhow, then we subtract this. I'm not going to put the little minus sign thing in there, but we get 2x squared plus x. So to get rid of our 2x squared that we still got left, we better have a 2x up here, which will give us 2x squared minus 4x, which will give us 5x plus 6. So we're going to have a plus 5 up here. And that just can't be. What's wrong? Got a bad coefficient or something in this thing because either that or I made a mistake up here. I've never made a mistake, so that couldn't be it, but let's be sure. Okay? Something's wrong. I'll tell you what's wrong. Okay? So, okay, we divide the 5x plus 6. We got to have a 5 here. That's going to give us 5x plus 6, and it's going to give us 5x minus 10, which is going to give us a remainder of 16. Now I could check that because I've either got a mistake here or I've got a mistake here. So I got to stop and check that, because if I multiplied this correctly, we know that dividing this by x minus 2 has to leave us this times this, right? If we divide this by x minus 2, we'd end up with x plus 1 times x minus 3, which is x squared minus 2x minus 3. I see my mistake. Negative 4x squared plus 2x is going to give us negative 2x squared, so this should have been negative 2x. Then we get a negative 2x plus 4x, which would give us negative 3x plus 6, and then we'd have negative 3x plus 6. This would be a negative 3. So we get a negative 3x plus 6, which would give us a remainder of 0.
I made 2 errors that ended up giving me the right answer initially. Let's see.
Yeah. Again, as I said, these negative signs are a minefield. I was concentrating on this one, and I carelessly didn't write my minus here because negative 4x squared plus 2x clearly is negative, right? Okay? So I should have been a little slower and more careful. Okay? But this is the way it comes out. If you do it correctly, you get this. Okay? Now what I want to illustrate with this is that this is exactly what you get. Okay, well, let's draw our conclusions. That might be a little hard to read this, so kind of do it yourself. That'd be a negative 3 there. And you still can't read it, but x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6 divided by x minus 2 equals x squared minus 2x minus 3 The remainder is 0, right? Now, according to what I wrote here, this says I've divided by x minus what? X minus 2 is x minus what? 2. Okay? I divided by x minus 2, so if I put 2 into this function, what I get should be equal to my remainder, which is 0, right? Well, if I plug in 2 here, what happens? I get 0 here, right? And it's multiplied by everything else, so I get 0. Okay? So, illustrating this thing, in this case, gives us that. Also, if I divide it in this form, I get this, right? And it shouldn't matter whether I divide this by x minus 2 or divide this by x minus 2, because they're the same. Distributive law guarantees that this expression is identical to this expression for every value of x. So it means to say that they're equal. And since I have this equals this equals this and so forth, they're equal. Okay? The equal sign goes both ways. So there's a lot in this example. You're not going to understand every detail of that, but the problems that I've assigned you are designed to reinforce these ideas so that next time we talk about them, they'll be fairly clear to you. Okay? Now, right now, I'm just happy if you can do the long division and check it. Okay? But then I want you to do the other things, whether you totally understand what they're telling you or not, so then when we talk about them, probably a week from today, you'll understand. Okay? It's an important aspect of polynomials.